The music world is buzzing right now, and social media is exploding with reactions, because what just went down at the awards show left everyone completely shook. Picture this. Kendrick Lamar walks onto the stage, calm, collected, and in complete control, while cameras cut to Drake in the audience, his jaw dropping as if he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Yes, Kendrick's award streak has officially reached an almost unreal level, and fans can't stop talking about it. From the moment he stepped onto the red carpet, it was clear something historic was about to happen. Every nomination, every win, every speech, Kendrick has been on an unstoppable roll, and last night proved that he's not just dominating, he's rewriting the rules of the game. Drake, known for his record-breaking numbers and chart-topping hits, has faced competitors before, but Kendrick's recent streak isn't just about popularity, it's about legacy. Critics and fans alike are calling it a changing of the guard moment, and the footage circulating online is fueling wild debates across every platform. Twitter blew up with clips of Kendrick collecting award after award, each one punctuated by polite applause and shocked faces in the crowd. And Drake? His expression said it all, speechless, stunned, and visibly impressed. Even some of his biggest supporters couldn't help but acknowledge that Kendrick was on another level. What makes this streak even more shocking is the consistency. Kendrick has been winning across categories, from Best Album and Best Lyricism to Best Music Video, proving he's not a one-hit wonder or flash in the pan. This isn't just about clout, it's a statement. Fans are calling it a masterclass in dominance, while insiders hint at the tension behind the scenes. The combination of Kendrick's artistry, focus, and sheer determination has created a perfect storm, leaving even industry giants like Drake momentarily speechless. Everyone wants to know, how did Kendrick do it? Was it his strategic releases, the collaborations, the storytelling that hits differently than anyone else, or a mix of all three? And what does this mean for Drake's next move? One thing is clear. The music world has shifted, and if last night is any indication, Kendrick isn't just winning awards, he's changing the conversation entirely. The night started like any other high-profile awards show. Flashing cameras, glittering gowns, and a palpable sense of anticipation in the air. But right from the opening moments, it was clear that something different was brewing. Kendrick Lamar, the man everyone had been quietly watching, entered the venue with a calm confidence that almost demanded attention. Every step, every glance, every nod seemed deliberate, like a chess master moving pieces ahead of time while the world was only seeing the surface. Fans watching live streams could feel it in their bones. This wasn't just another awards night. This was history in the making. Even backstage, whispers circulated that Kendrick was on a mission. Unlike other artists who rely on spectacle or hype, Kendrick's presence carried a quiet intensity, a sense that he was here to dominate, but on his own terms. And as the first award of the night was announced, the crowd realized Kendrick wasn't just participating. He was setting a pace that no one else could match. When Kendrick's name appeared as the winner for the first major category, the reaction was electric. Cheers erupted, but what caught the cameras and the internet's attention was Drake's expression. For a man who had dominated charts and awards for over a decade, to see him literally speechless was something almost surreal. Social media instantly exploded with clips of his stunned face, emojis flooding timelines, and fans debating what this moment meant for the industry. This wasn't just about a trophy. It was about influence, legacy, and an unmistakable statement that Kendrick was now a defining force. Music analysts began dissecting the win, highlighting Kendrick's evolution from a critically acclaimed artist to an unstoppable cultural phenomenon. His lyrical depth, storytelling prowess, and social commentary had always set him apart. But now, combined with the sheer consistency of recognition, Kendrick was emerging as more than a musician. He was becoming a benchmark for excellence. But what makes this streak truly fascinating is the way Kendrick has been doing it. There's no drama, no manufactured tension, just a relentless focus on craft and authenticity. Every album release, every single, every collaboration is carefully crafted, almost surgical in its precision. It's not just about awards or public perception. It's about creating a body of work that demands attention and commands respect. In interviews leading up to the event, Kendrick spoke about the importance of art over ego, of substance over flash, and of leaving a mark that goes beyond fleeting fame. This philosophy is precisely what has earned him this unprecedented recognition. Fans across the globe can't help but analyze every lyric, every beat, every visual, searching for clues as to how Kendrick maintains this level of dominance without ever compromising his vision. Meanwhile, Drake's silence during these moments only amplified the impact, highlighting the contrast between two of the biggest figures in modern music, one thriving on calculated strategy and introspection, the other momentarily caught off guard by a peer operating on a whole different level. The night's momentum continued with Kendrick sweeping multiple categories in a row, leaving the audience in awe. As he approached the stage for the second time, his demeanor remained composed, almost eerily calm considering the magnitude of what was unfolding. Industry insiders watching the live stream noted the subtle power dynamics at play. Artists who had previously been considered untouchable now had to reckon with Kendrick's undeniable presence. There's a growing recognition that this isn't just about talent. It's about vision, discipline, and timing. Kendrick's ability to resonate across generations, to engage both critics and fans alike, has created a cultural ripple effect that extends far beyond the confines of the award stage. And with each win, the narrative solidified. Kendrick Lamar wasn't just winning awards, he was redefining what success looks like in the modern music landscape. Meanwhile, behind the cameras, whispers and speculation ran rampant. How would Drake respond? Could he come back stronger? Or was this moment signaling a shift in the hierarchy of the industry? Social media debates escalated into heated discussions, with fans and influencers predicting collaborations, rivalries, and even shifts in streaming trends. Kendrick, for his part, remained unaffected, focused solely on his artistry and message. Each acceptance speech was concise, filled with gratitude and humility, but also layered with the unmistakable weight of accomplishment. It became increasingly clear that this streak wasn't a fluke or momentary trend. It was the culmination of years of dedication, creativity, and foresight, and it was challenging everyone to rethink what dominance in the music world truly means. As the first hour of the show wrapped up, commentators couldn't stop highlighting one theme. Kendrick Lamar had captured not just trophies, but the imagination of the industry. He had commanded attention without resorting to theatrics, had inspired conversations about artistry and legacy, and had, most importantly, the implications were staggering. This moment would be remembered as a turning point, not just for Kendrick, but for the entire culture. And for those watching closely, it was clear that while the night had only just begun, Kendrick's streak was already setting a new standard, one that would reverberate long after the lights dimmed and the stage was cleared. The world had witnessed a performance in strategy, influence, and dominance, and everyone knew that Kendrick Lamar's era had arrived. As the night progressed, the intensity in the room seemed to amplify with every award Kendrick collected. It wasn't just about the trophies themselves. It was the aura surrounding him, a quiet, unshakable confidence that made every other artist in attendance take notice. The cameras repeatedly panned to Drake, who remained seated with a fixed expression, a mix of admiration, disbelief, and, perhaps, a subtle hint of frustration. Social media had already picked up on this dynamic, with clips of Drake's reactions going viral within minutes. Fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with split-screen edits, GIFs, and memes, all highlighting the stark contrast between the two icons. The comments section exploded with debates. Was Drake caught off guard by Kendrick's genius, or was he silently plotting his next move? The answer didn't matter to most viewers. The spectacle itself had everyone glued to their screens, craving the next moment, the next win, the next reaction that would break the internet all over again. Kendrick's streak was more than just a series of wins. It was a statement about artistry and strategy, about consistency and vision. Unlike artists who rely on hype or controversy to maintain relevance, Kendrick's approach has always been methodical. Each album, each verse, each performance is carefully considered, built to resonate deeply with fans and critics alike. And as the night unfolded, it became painfully clear why his influence extended far beyond the music itself. Every speech he gave was layered with gratitude, respect, and a subtle reminder of his journey, a journey that began in Compton and has now catapulted him to the upper echelons of the music industry. While the audience applauded, the internet dissected every line, every gesture, every glance, searching for meaning, for clues as to how he had built such an unshakable presence. The ripple effect of his dominance was undeniable. Playlists shifted, streaming numbers spiked, and even the most casual fans felt compelled to engage, discuss, and analyze his achievements. Meanwhile, Drake's silence continued to fuel speculation. The rapper, who had long been celebrated for his dominance in charts and awards, was now witnessing firsthand a peer operate on an entirely different plane. Analysts began weighing the cultural significance of this shift, comparing the two artists' trajectories, styles, and influence. It became apparent that while Drake represents a particular era of commercial success, Kendrick embodies a more enduring form of artistry, one that transcends trends, fads, and fleeting popularity. Industry insiders whispered about the subtle tensions that might arise behind the scenes, and social media users began creating speculative threads, imagining hypothetical rivalries, collaborations, or even conflicts. Yet Kendrick remained impervious, focused only on his craft and his message. Each moment on stage, each handshake, each bow to the audience reinforced that he was in complete control of the narrative, dictating not only who was winning awards, but who was shaping the future of music culture. The audience itself could sense the magnitude of what was happening. Artists, producers, and executives alike exchanged glances, nods, and quiet acknowledgments, as if silently agreeing that they were witnessing a historic moment. There was an unspoken recognition that Kendrick's streak was not just about personal achievement. It was redefining the parameters of success in modern hip-hop. Fans watching live noted the difference immediately, drawing parallels between Kendrick's meticulous approach and Drake's more spontaneous, commercial style. Social media commentary reflected this dichotomy, with heated debates erupting over whose influence was stronger, whose legacy would endure, and what this meant for the music industry at large. For many, the spectacle of Kendrick's performance, both musically and socially, was as impactful as the awards themselves. It was a lesson in dominance without ostentation, strategy without drama, and influence without compromise. By the time Kendrick walked back to the stage for his third consecutive win, the energy in the venue had reached an almost palpable peak. Applause, cheers, and standing ovations collided with flashes from thousands of cameras, capturing a moment that would be replayed endlessly online. Kendrick's demeanor remained composed, his words carefully chosen, his gratitude sincere yet infused with the unmistakable weight of achievement. Each win served as a reminder to the industry and to fans alike. Excellence, consistency, and authenticity command respect, and no amount of chart dominance can replace a legacy built with intent and vision. Even Drake, seated in the audience, couldn't hide the subtle respect in his expression, a nod to Kendrick's mastery, a silent acknowledgement that this was bigger than any one rivalry. This wasn't just another awards show. It was a cultural milestone, a defining moment in music history that will be remembered and referenced for years to come. As part 2 of the night drew to a close, commentators and analysts were unanimous in their assessment. Kendrick Lamar had not only solidified his streak but had elevated it to a level that left the entire industry reevaluating its hierarchies. Fans speculated endlessly about what the next few months might bring, imagining potential album drops, collaborations, and tours that could further cement his dominance. Meanwhile, Drake's role in this unfolding narrative became increasingly complex. Admiration, challenge, and anticipation all intertwined in a single expression, broadcast live to millions. And for those watching closely, it was clear that Kendrick's influence was no longer confined to awards alone. It had permeated culture itself, shaping conversations, trends, and expectations in a way few artists ever achieve. The stage was set for the next phase, the next chapters, and the next moments that would continue to shock, inspire, and captivate the world. As the night progressed into the later hours, the spotlight on Kendrick Lamar only intensified. While many award shows often see momentum fade as the evening drags on, Kendrick's presence seemed to amplify with every passing moment. Each category he entered became a proving ground, not just for the awards themselves, but for the statement he was making about artistry, influence, and longevity. Fans online dissected every move, sharing clips of his poised gestures, his calm demeanor, and the subtle nods he gave fellow artists, gestures that spoke volumes about respect, mastery, and control. The fact that Drake remained in the audience, visibly captivated yet unusually silent, created a tension that fueled social media commentary for hours. Every reaction, every tweet, every discussion amplified the narrative. Kendrick wasn't just winning awards. He was reshaping perceptions, forcing even the most established icons to acknowledge. Kendrick's streak also highlighted a broader cultural shift in hip-hop and mainstream music. While commercial success has long been associated with chart performance, streaming numbers, and public visibility, Kendrick's consistency was a reminder that true influence lies in the combination of artistry and resonance. Each album, each lyric, and each performance was carefully constructed to communicate something meaningful, something lasting, and something deeply personal. Fans pointed out that while Drake's music often captures the zeitgeist and dominates playlists worldwide, Kendrick's work feels like it builds its own cultural language, one that fans can feel, scholars can analyze, and artists can aspire to. The awards were only the visible confirmation of this phenomenon. The real impact was in the ripple effect throughout music, social commentary, and even fashion, collaborations, and popular culture. One of the most remarkable aspects of Kendrick's streak was how it seemed to command both critical acclaim and mainstream attention without compromising either. In an industry where artists are often forced to choose between commercial appeal and artistic integrity, Kendrick managed to masterfully balance both. His wins weren't mere popularity contests. They were acknowledgments of skill, vision, and the ability to connect deeply with listeners across generations. Each time he accepted an award, it felt less like a victory and more like a lesson in how consistency, focus, and authenticity yield results. Meanwhile, Drake's reactions, subtle as they were, reinforced the impact. Here was an artist accustomed to dominating numbers and public attention, now confronted by a peer whose craft demanded admiration and respect, leaving him in a rare position of quiet reflection rather than applause. The social media sphere exploded as clips of Kendrick accepting award after award went viral. Fans dissected his expressions, compared his achievements to those of other legends, and speculated endlessly about what this would mean for the future of the industry. Memes, reaction videos, and commentary threads flooded platforms, creating a digital storm that mirrored the energy in the venue itself. Analysts began to argue that Kendrick's streak represented more than individual brilliance. It was a new blueprint for how artists could maintain relevance and impact while staying true to their vision. Streaming numbers for his catalog surged, articles analyzing his lyrical genius multiplied, and conversations about cultural dominance became unavoidable. Even casual fans who had never followed every album release were forced to acknowledge the magnitude of what was happening. Kendrick's impact was not just measured in awards. It was measured in the conversations, debates, and shifts happening across the global music landscape. Meanwhile, as the awards continued, the subtle dynamics between Kendrick and Drake became a topic of fascination. Every camera cut, every glance, every nonverbal cue was scrutinized by fans and commentators alike. There was an unspoken narrative unfolding, the passing of a symbolic torch, the emergence of a new era, and the recognition of unparalleled artistry. The juxtaposition of Kendrick's calm, focused demeanor with Drake's stunned observation created a story that was as compelling as the awards themselves. It wasn't just a rivalry. It was a masterclass in how influence can manifest differently. One artist led with charisma and chart dominance, the other with meticulous artistry and cultural resonance. And in that moment, as Kendrick collected yet another award, the audience, the industry, and the world understood. This streak was about redefining what it means to dominate, not just in numbers, but in legacy, in respect, and in lasting influence. By the end of Part 3, the energy in the venue had reached a fever pitch. Every award, every speech, Every reaction contributed to the narrative that Kendrick Lamar was not just an artist winning trophies. He was a phenomenon commanding the attention of the entire music world. The ripple effects were already being felt, from streaming charts to social media trends, and even in whispered conversations backstage among other artists. Drake, for his part, remained a silent observer, processing the moment with a mixture of respect, awe, and perhaps strategic calculation. The night had become more than an award show. It was a cultural event, a historic milestone, and a vivid demonstration of how artistry, consistency, and vision can redefine an industry in real time. Fans knew that what they had witnessed was extraordinary, that this was more than a fleeting streak. It was the emergence of an era, and Kendrick Lamar was its undeniable champion. As the night entered its final phases, the magnitude of Kendrick Lamar's streak became impossible to ignore. Every award he received was met with thunderous applause, not just from fans, but from industry veterans who recognized the historical significance of what was unfolding. The audience was no longer simply watching a music awards show. They were witnessing a defining cultural moment. Cameras kept cutting back to Drake, whose face had become the symbol of stunned respect. For someone so accustomed to being at the forefront of recognition, to watch a peer achieve such sustained excellence was both humbling and eye-opening. Analysts on social media began calling it a masterclass in consistency, with commentaries dissecting Kendrick's journey from his earlier works to the present, highlighting how he had meticulously built his career in a way that ensured both critical acclaim and cultural relevance. This wasn't happenstance. It was strategy, creativity, and genius perfectly aligned, and the impact was reverberating far beyond the award stage. The discussion surrounding Kendrick's dominance quickly turned to the broader implications for the industry. In an era where commercial metrics often overshadow artistry, Kendrick's streak represented a triumph of substance over spectacle. Each win was an acknowledgement of the depth, innovation, and skill embedded in his work, challenging other artists to elevate their craft beyond mid-chart-topping formulas. Social media exploded with fan analyses, hot takes, and debates, dissecting every lyric, every music video, and every live performance from the past year. The sheer consistency of Kendrick's victories became a cultural conversation in itself, forcing the industry to pause and reconsider what true influence and legacy look like in modern music. Meanwhile, Drake's silence during these moments became increasingly symbolic, signaling both admiration and recognition that a new benchmark had been set, a standard that would shape expectations for years to come. One of the most striking elements of Kendrick's performance throughout the night was his ability to balance humility with undeniable authority. Unlike other artists who might flaunt their dominance or feed into public rivalry, Kendrick remained composed, gracious, and intentional with every word and gesture. His acceptance speeches were succinct, profound, and layered with meaning, emphasizing not only his gratitude but also his awareness of the broader cultural impact of his work. Fans noticed that he often gave subtle nods to his collaborators, producers, and hometown. The more he won, the more this image solidified, cementing his streak not just as a series of accolades, but as a statement about leadership, vision, and artistic responsibility. The reactions from other artists and insiders backstage added another layer of intrigue to the evening. Whispered conversations, subtle glances, and quiet acknowledgments revealed a deep understanding of the shift that was occurring. Many recognized that Kendrick's streak was more than a temporary highlight. It was a redefining moment in the history of contemporary music. The impact extended beyond awards. Record labels, streaming platforms, and media outlets began recalibrating their focus, highlighting the importance of artistry, storytelling, and cultural resonance over raw commercial numbers alone. Fans dissected these backstage moments, creating viral posts that spread across social media like wildfire, further amplifying Kendrick's dominance. Even casual viewers, who might not have followed every album or single, were drawn into the narrative, captivated by the sense that they were witnessing history in real time. By the time the night was approaching its climax, the contrast between Kendrick Lamar and Drake had become the evening's unofficial subplot. While Drake had historically dominated charts and award ceremonies, Kendrick's streak challenged perceptions and reshaped expectations. The juxtaposition was striking. One artist celebrated for commercial power, the other revered for consistent mastery, and yet both commanding global attention. Fans continued to speculate on what this might mean for future collaborations, rivalries, and the evolving music landscape. Would Drake respond with a new era-defining project? Would Kendrick continue to set unprecedented standards? Or had the industry just witnessed a generational shift that could not be reversed? Every camera cut, every reaction, and every award presented only reinforced the reality that Kendrick Lamar's streak was more than a series of wins. It was a movement, a statement, and a transformative moment in music history. As the night drew to its grand finale, the weight of Kendrick Lamar's achievements was impossible to ignore. Every award he had won up to that point had created a momentum that seemed unstoppable, and the atmosphere in the venue reflected it. The audience, once polite and measured, had grown increasingly electrified, cheering with fervor as his name was announced yet again. Fans at home were glued to live streams, replaying clips and debating every move, every glance, and every nod. Social media was flooded with reactions, GIFs, memes, and threads analyzing Kendrick's dominance in real time. And in the midst of it all, Drake's reaction had become the night's unofficial symbol, a mixture of awe, respect, and perhaps even a realization that he was witnessing a cultural and artistic force that was redefining modern music. The magnitude of what was happening extended far beyond a single night. It was a moment that would be referenced and remembered in the years to come. Kendrick's final win of the night was not just another trophy. It was the culmination of a streak that showcased his ability to command attention without theatrics, to dominate without controversy, and to inspire without ostentation. Each win reflected a meticulous strategy combined with raw talent, proving that mastery of craft and consistency of vision can elevate an artist to a level that transcends charts and numbers. Fans dissected the moment, highlighting not only the awards but the artistry behind them, the lyrical precision, the storytelling, the social commentary embedded in his music. This wasn't a fleeting trend or a temporary surge of popularity. It was a calculated ascent, a legacy being built in real time. And as Kendrick accepted his award, the applause and standing ovations were not just for the trophy. They were for the artistry, the vision, and the influence that had become undeniable. Drake's presence continued to amplify the narrative. His expression, a mixture of surprise and respect, had become iconic, captured in countless clips and screenshots circulating across social media. For a man who has defined an era of music and built a legacy of commercial dominance, to witness someone operate on this level was both humbling and enlightening. Fans speculated endlessly about what this meant for Drake's next moves. Would he double down on chart-topping hits? Would he pivot creatively? Or would this mark the beginning of a new era of artistic rivalry? Every fan, analyst, and commentator had a theory, but one thing was universally acknowledged. Kendrick's streak was rewriting the rules. The juxtaposition of two of the most influential artists in the world, each dominating in their own way, created a tension and excitement that elevated the award show from a standard entertainment event to a historic cultural phenomenon. Beyond the awards and reactions, the night highlighted the broader cultural implications of Kendrick's dominance. His work has always carried weight beyond music, addressing social issues, reflecting on community, and challenging listeners to think critically about the world around them. Each award was a recognition not only of musical skill but of the broader impact he has on culture, society, and the industry itself. Fans celebrated this duality, sharing posts that connected his lyrics to real-world events, praising his consistency in delivering meaningful art while still engaging mainstream audiences. The streak served as a reminder that true influence is measured not by fleeting metrics, but by lasting impact. Every win added a layer to this narrative, cementing Kendrick's role as both a cultural icon and a trailblazer for future generations. As the show concluded, the energy in the venue was electric yet reflective, a mix of celebration and awe. The night had delivered an unforgettable performance, not just in music but in symbolism, the emergence of a defining moment in contemporary music history. Kendrick Lamar's streak had left an indelible mark, a message to fans, artists, and industry leaders alike that mastery, authenticity, and consistency matter more than flash and hype. Meanwhile, Drake's silent acknowledgement captured a deeper truth. Even the most accomplished artists must respect the rise of peers who push the boundaries of excellence. By the final moments, it was clear that this night would be remembered not just for the awards, but for the cultural conversation it sparked, the benchmarks it set, and the legacy it cemented. History had been made, and the world watched, captivated, and inspired. The night ended with fans and commentators reflecting on what they had witnessed, a series of wins that transcended numbers, an artist whose consistency redefined excellence, and a rival whose silent respect symbolized the seismic shift in modern music. Social media remained abuzz long after the lights dimmed, as clips of Kendrick's victories and Drake's reactions continued to go viral, fueling discussions, debates, and predictions for the future. The streak wasn't over. It was only the beginning of a new era where artistry, strategy, and cultural resonance defined the standards of success. And in that era, Kendrick Lamar had firmly established himself as the leader, the innovator, and the voice shaping the music world in ways that would be remembered for decades to come. If you've been watching Kendrick Lamar's unstoppable streak unfold, you already know this isn't just about awards. It's about legacy, influence, and redefining what it means to dominate in the music world. Now, we want to hear from you. Who do you think will respond next? Will Drake come back stronger? Or is this the start of a new era where Kendrick sets the standard for everyone else? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your favorite moment from last night, and let's get the conversation going.